See, I do have a lot. I meant to make a list. Here, I got my stovetop to talk about. Got the toner, it finally come in, and I think that's going to work. We'll take a look at that in a minute. I'm going to start fresh, get my recipe out, and I'll probably wind up filming it. I think one of the toners, I got a toner here, yellow tone up, but I'm thinking this dark golden oak, both of them are so close, but it's just a tick light. So what I was going to do is start over, and then what I'll do is what I have out there, it was left on there 30 minutes. Now I'm going to do a 40, 50, and 60 minutes and see if that makes any difference. We're so close, I bet the 40 or 50 minute will do it. I mean, if it makes it any darker, you know, green's only going to soak so much. But that dark golden oak or the yellow toner, either one, it's got it so close. A viewer brought that to my attention, and that's going to be the way to dial it in. However, I had another viewer talk about leave it just a little rougher, don't get it so slick, maybe it'll suck it in there better. I think that's going to work too. Yeah, that's I'm confident now that I will dial that dude right on in. But I do have this stove top. My granddaughter's coming up. She does she got a cricket. It's not spelled the cricket like the bug. Some of y'all might be familiar with it. I didn't know anything about it till they got one. But she cuts this stuff out, and she's going to do the vinyl. This is a stovetop cover. Actually, it's my granddaughter. It's the other set of grandparents we're doing this for. So she got a little old it's for the camper. They got a gas stove, and this thing stands up pretty good. It's the reason why it's so tall. But we choose to make it like this. That way it ain't killing the counter space. Because you're on a camper and ain't a whole lot. But yet it's decorative enough that, and it's cedar, and I didn't finish the inside. Y'all know why? That way the aroma. It still have an aroma, but when you put the finish, you'll kind of stifle it a little bit. Besides that, this is their wood. They give it to me. And I figured I'd make their stove top for their camper out of the wood they give me. The dry sink, we're going to look at that. Look at this toner. Probably not today, but we're going to, it's going to be there. But I like the original color, and I think I can get it, or be close enough where, you just don't want it to stand out like a sore thumb. But then again, just want to update you on the surgery. I guess I'm just a wuss. I felt like I should, of course, I ain't been just a few days over a week. And I've been real careful, doing my exercises, stretches, and stuff like that. But I don't know if it's because I'm older now and it takes longer to get over it. Yeah, it's taken a while to get over it. And it looks like it's going to be every bit of the 3 weeks. So I'm just going to make sure that we don't have an issue with me getting too excited and get back in it. So I'm going to use this time, and I'd like to see what you think. I'm going to use this time to design and be ready to implement some videos. And one thing I've been thinking about, y'all know, if y'all have seen this before, especially on the that locking rabbit, half blind locking rabbit. I got these fences that you mount to it. In other words, this one will do an 1/8 inch, what I call little finger joints, and like these right here, they were quarters. And then I got one for 3/8 and a 3/4, and I was going to make one for a half. That way I'll have anything comes up. 3/8 is the most common, but in this short little run here, the quarter hit, you know, it kind of depends on the application. But that sled I'm thinking about, once you cut, say for instance, right now the sled, it's only 1/4 inch. That's what I've been using it for. But I need to do some 3/8. Well, that's going to make that groove wider so it loses your zero clearance. So what happens is it's going to be more tear out. So, but I've come up with an idea. I've got a circle cutting jig for my bandsaw, and I put a dovetail. This thing's probably a couple inches wide, and I put a dovetail where it's sliding dovetail, where it slide in. I got my nail in for the where I'm putting my work there, and that becomes my radius point. But the bigger the circle, the more you just slide it out and clamp it down. But I was going to use that same method with the table saw sled. In other words, this side, you know, if you're looking at the table saw, what's on the left don't change. You know, it's you build it out this way to the right. So the groove on the left-hand side will never change, but I was going to put a sliding dovetail to keep that north. If you put a 3/4 inch dado in it, when you raise it up and put it in, you slide it over till it touches the dado stack and kind of bolt it down. Now you've got your zero clearance. And then you had some quarters, you put your quarter and slide it over to the quarter, bolt it down. I'm going to build that. Because one thing I've learned, if it's handy, you'll use it. A lot of times, if you have to bring it out and set it up, and I know I've had small workshops before, you got to do what you got to do. But a lot of times, I find myself finding another way of doing it. Where, for instance, I will cut a different joint if I have to do a whole lot of setting up. But what I'm talking about, that one sled to do any size I want to do. As long as you got a backer fence for it. And if I had one that cut 1/2 inch, I will have from 1/8 inch all the way up 3/4, which that would cover anything one would need to do. So that's what I'm looking at. Quick to set up, minimal setup. I mean, you set that thing up real quick. Instead of having 4 or 5 different sleds, just to me, if you had one sled to do it all, there you go. It just makes sense. And anyway, that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to design that thing, and then I'll tell you something else I need to do. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with these Christmas gifts. This is the middle of October. Christmas will be here before you know it, so I'm going to have to get all that took care of. So there's plenty to do. I just need to get where I can do it. I told y'all about a friend of mine that lost concentration just for a moment. And he lost the ends of them fingers right there. And he's been woodworking for years and years. I mean, it can happen to anybody, because a lot of times it'll happen to somebody that routine, get mundane, but you gotta keep that concentration up. And as long as I can't bend that finger no more than that, I don't feel like I need to be taking a chance on any of these saws and whatnot. Cause your head's got to be in the game. Some people can listen to music, and I'm happy for them, but I am not one of them. There'd be no music around here. But there again, there's a lot of people that will do just as good with music as I can without it. So I don't need anything to pull my concentration away from what I'm doing. So I got 2 reasons why I need to take my time, let this thing heal up. But there's nothing saying I can't design and plan out, and when I'm able to go, that I can go with it. I need to do a better job telling the story with the camera. I don't know if you've noticed how well that half-blind locking rabbit is doing. As of today, this morning, I had 3,700 views on that thing. Usually, if I get 1,000 views, that's a lot. Which I've got several that it's got over 1,000, but hell, Yo-Yo on that Sawdust Solutions got 17,000. I still ain't figured that one out. But I did a little more planning with it and was able to stay on task, and I think that's the trick. I just need to do a better job with that. So that's the path I'm going to go until something changes my mind, if you know what I mean. But I just felt like I want to give y'all an update on how it's going. It's going. It's just going to take time. But I need to take the time, I guess, because I don't need any more problems. Sure don't. So until next time, catch you on the next one, and y'all be safe and have a wonderful day.